Good morning and happy Friday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. This is live and recorded. For anybody that might be new here, what we typically do is go over crypto news in the space. I update myself and I bring you guys along for the ride. Hopefully my computer is fixed today. It took me all day yesterday. It crashed during the stream if anybody missed it. And yeah, I think it was one of them SATA cables going to my SSD that was holding Windows. So hopefully nothing else happens today, but let's see who's in the chat and then we'll go from there. Mr. Crypto KJ, good to see you. We have Andrew Masad, good to see you. Dakota Miner, Burn, Motu, what's up, man? Tim I Am Crypto, good morning, sir. Crypto KJ, my man Steven Cicero, what's up, dude? Dan R, good morning, sir. Good to see you. Daddy Chill, everybody else I may have missed, I apologize. Let's get into it, see what we're looking like today. Looks like Bitcoin 66,235 bucks. Look at that. We got Ethereum up to $3,031. Solana 167 bucks. ADA at 48 cents. We got XRP at 52 cents. Caspa at 12 cents, down on the day actually. Max Voltage is winning his bet today with DJ. LTC is up 0.8%. Look at that, 83 bucks. Not too bad. Let's see. Two mentions, I feel special. Sorry, yeah, I don't know, I was just reading. All right, you talk a lot. Crypto KJ, good to see you, buddy. Let's see, ETC 28 bucks, looking pretty good. Nothing really else popping out at me. Link, I guess, up 19.59%. I say I guess, and it's up almost 20%. $16.58. Anybody into Link? Let me know in the chat. ADA had a real big pullback and it's up about 5 cents from its pullback, which is pretty decent as of right now. Hopefully that ends up coming back. Let's check out crypto bubbles, see what we're looking like. Looks like again Link up 20.2%, biggest earner of the day. $16.61. We got Ondo up 10.3% over here on the day, 95 cents. Nice. We got Lido. This is the $1.78, whatever. Is anybody into this LDO? Let me know. Jupiter 5.1% up on the day, $1.22. We got ADA again up 7.3% on the day to 48 cents, almost 49 cents. We get Arweave AR up 10.9%, pretty nice. ETC is up 4%. I think ETC is going to do very well. I think it's going to do very well. I kind of want to get more ETC, to be honest. I really do think it's going to do fine. Render is down 1.7% today. Is anybody into Render? Let me know. Mike the Miner, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Good morning. Yeah, I'm glad that was the problem too. It's nice, I got to flush my PC as well yesterday. So I have a water cooled dual 3090 rig, and I haven't flushed the system in a while, so I had to take it outside, blow it out, flush it. It was a freaking nightmare to flush though. I tell you what. All right, flashbang, fear and greed index looking like a 74. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there, getting to that 75 mark where things get really greedy. And yeah, I don't know, I'm glad we had a pullback, but I don't like the needle moving this far forward and this fast. That's just my opinion. Take it as you will. Oops, I did that backwards. All right, coin gecko, let's see, top 10 coins over here. Well, what's trending first? Apu. This Apu coin is trending. It's down 8.2%. We got Maniki up 24.9. Man, these two have been on the top of the charts trending here anyways for a while. And then Biconomy, did I say that right? I think 52 cents, 7.1% up on the day. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko. We got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, USDC, XRP, Lido staked Ether, Toncoin, and Dogecoin still in 10th place at a $22 billion market cap. We got Cardano in 11th place at a 17.2 billion. Look at that. Nice little jump up there. Shiba still in 12th place at a 14.6 billion. Crazy. Litecoin, in my opinion, still severely undervalued, 83 bucks. You guys know its all-time high was $410. I think we got an easy 2-3x in Litecoin easily, my opinion. Let's see, ETC I think is going to do the same thing again. $167 was the all-time high. I think we're going to see it easy 3-4x on this one, but it's my opinion. I'm a guy on YouTube, so take it with a grain of salt. All right, let's see, let's show the max chart quick on Caspa. Caspa looks like it's retesting, or it's testing support. Just looking at this chart, right? Obviously these charts are ass, but it definitely broke out of that downwards trend and it's touched it here. So I'm wondering if we're going to get a jump off. I guess we'll have to see. I guess we will have to see. Good morning, Mining of the North. Good to see you, buddy. All right, let's move on to the mining segment of things. Then we're going to get into the news. I have a lot of things I want to watch because yesterday I didn't get to watch nothing. Pretty terrible. All right, let's see. We have Bitmain Antminer KS5 Pro, top of the charts. We are at 10 cents per kilowatt hour, $88.39 per day. We got the KS5 20 terahash unit making 84.18. The KS5L 12 terahash unit making 46.67. We have the AL box in fourth place over here, 360 gigahashes at 180 watts, making $41.69 a day. Let's see what's a lithium looking like actually. Man, bruh, it's taking a hit. It's taking a hit. It was down worse the other day. Oh, actually, this was today, wasn't it? No, this is yesterday. Yesterday, last night, I guess. Huh? Let's see, 7 days. It's taken quite the hit the last couple weeks, huh? Damn, from like upwards of like $3 down an entire dollar, 20 cents or so. Crazy. All right. Anyways, I don't know. I hope. I wonder what's gonna happen, right? And you know what? Crypto Frank made a good point. These companies that sell these box miners or ASIC miners in general, right? Do you guys think they're like buying the coin first? You know what I mean? Like buying the coin, pumping it up, getting it all hyped up, and then dropping this miner. I mean, they have enough money to do it, right? I know it's kind of tinfoil hat-ish, but I don't know. It's crazy to think about. Mr. Geek of all trades, welcome to the party. Happy Friday, Auto Gang. Appreciate you all. All right, BMKS Max 11 terahash unit making $39.81 a day. We have the Windminer K9 39.14. We have the Ice River KS3 over here, 8 terahash unit, $28.87, and the KS3M 6 terahash unit making $19.25. Ooh, those are going down. Those are going down hard. All right, we got the L7 9050. You guys know I got mine down at Terra Hosting. Shout out to them, paying 9.5 cents per kilowatt hour. We have $10.41 per day I'm making down there after electric costs. That's crazy. It's awesome. I love how this machine is just pumping out coins. It's awesome. All right, let's see. We got the Ice River KS2 terahash unit, $6.26 a day. We get the Ice River KS1 1 terahash unit making $3.13 a day. Where is my X16Q? Right here, the X16Q. I got this thing actually running right here next to me. It's so quiet, and I just made a video about the X4Q and the X16Q. These, to be honest, like these are the perfect beginner machines if you guys wanted to get in on something like an ASIC miner, because it's not annoying and it runs off 120. That's the biggest thing for me. But yeah, 1950 for mega hashes, just about 2 gigahashes, right? I mine ETC typically, but I am mining ETHW right now, too unmineable to swap into Caspa. And even with my 30-cent electric rate, I'm making $5. So that's pretty good. Still doing pretty good. All right, let's check out the KS Zeros real quick. Ice River KS Zeros. Oh, 67 cents a day, 200 gigahash unit. Damn it. Damn it. Jazz miners are way too expensive for starter rigs. Matt K, yes and no. Yes and no, because I spent way more than $3 grand on my first mining rig for way less hash rate. Just being real, just being honest. Let's see. All right, we got the Ice River KS0, the original, make it 30 cents a day, 100 gigahashes at 65 watts. All right, let's see the S19K. I want to see where that is. Where is that today? I think I went too far. Got to find it. There it is. S19K 120 terahash unit. 36 cents negative. Payback never. I never noticed it said never. That's a riot. Oh man, I don't know how I never noticed that before. That's so funny. I never noticed that saying payback never. All right, let's move on. Moving on. Oh god, mouse just went nuts. Oh god, don't do it again. Don't mess up on me again. All right, let's check out GPUs. What's the most profitable coin today? Ironfish and Pyron on top of the charts for the 4090. What in the hell is this EVR? Evermore? What is this? When did this come out? Is this new? Yeah, and the Jazz miners hold their value. Yeah, that too. Absolutely, Steven Cicero. What is this, dude? Is this a new coin? We're gonna have to check in a second. Going back to GPUs. All right, I guess this Evermore coin's good on the 3080 12 gigabyte rather. Then we have the 3080 Ti, same thing. Evermore, weird. New coin. Interesting. RTX 3080 as well, and 3070 Ti. Even in 3070. Interesting. We have Raven coin in the 6800 XT and Chlor. Neat. I wonder what makes it. Why is it why is it more profitable on the 3080 12 gigabyte versus the 4090? This coin. If you guys have any information on this, please let me know. I'd never heard of this coin until right now. All right, the 6900 XT Raven coin, Iron Fishing Graham. Then we have Grin also top of the charts. Weird. Flux, look at that. Flux, 44 cents you're making on your 3070 Ti laptop. Please don't buy it on your laptops. That's not a smart idea. A4000, we got Cortex. And then, yeah. So you guys got a plethora of coins today. Conflux on the 2070. Anybody still mining with the 2070? Interesting. All right, let's check out. Let's see. Is there new coins? Is that a new coin? It's not even on the list. I don't see it. Is it an older coin? Very strange. Very strange. I know this consensus coin was very profitable the other day. Actually, Carlson hash. It was yesterday, I believe, and the day before, maybe. Lux chain. I don't know what this is. ETH hash coin. Interesting. What's this one? K1 pool. K1 pool. Interesting. What is this coin? Let's see. Lux chain. If you guys go off of this site, by the way, please be careful. This computer's VLAN, so I don't have to worry about it. But ultra fast, decentralized, EVM compatible, proof of work, layer 1 blockchain. This is Lux chain. I have no idea what this is. Lux chain draws inspiration from the legacy proof of work mechanisms, combining this proven security with groundbreaking features tailored for DeFi, NFTs, smart contracts. I feel like I read this yesterday and I said the same thing. Was it yesterday? Did I read this yesterday? Did I read that yesterday before my computer crashed? I'm not sure. I don't remember. I feel like I read that one though. It's either that or it sounds exactly like every other coin that's a fork of something. All right, events calendar. Let's move on. Pyron in 4 days, guys. We're going through a 5th inning. Block reward is being reduced from 17 to 14. Ethereum Classic is going through the same thing in 13 days. I did Alien Black. I knew it. All right, perfect. Thank you. Block rewards reduced 2.56 to 2.048 on Ethereum Classic, and then Gold Cash, if anybody cares, in 27 days. I'm just gonna read up to 30 days, and that's really it. All right, moving on to the news segment of things. Let's see. Crypto KJ sent me this before we started. Actually, MIT students stole $25 million in seconds by exploiting ETH's blockchain bug. Bruh. What is this? I haven't read this at all yet. Within approximately 12 seconds, 2 highly educated brothers allegedly stole $25 million by tampering with the Ethereum blockchain in a never before seen cryptocurrency scheme, according to an indictment that the U.S. Department of Justice unsealed Wednesday. In the DOJ press release, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said the scheme was so sophisticated that it calls the very integrity of the blockchain into question. Weird. The brothers who studied the computer science and math at one of the most prestigious universities in the world allegedly used their specialized skills and education to tamper with and manipulate the protocols relied upon by millions of Ethereum users across the globe. What? Williams said, and once they put their plan into action, their heist only took 12 seconds to complete. Holy shit. Anton, 24, and James Pierre Bueno, that's how you say that, 28, are arrested on Tuesday, charged with a conspiracy to commit fraud, wire fraud, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Each brother faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison for each count, the DOJ said. Well, how does that work? How did that even happen? What? That's crazy. $25 million. How can you exploit a blockchain like that? There's so many unanswered questions here. I am so lost. I want to know how that happened. I want them to explain it more. Please explain this more. Damn, I hope we see news about this. All right. Anyways, let's get on to the actual news bit. So CNBC television over here. This was 23 hours ago. I'm kind of covering some stuff from yesterday and from today, right? So Bitcoin's institutional adoption is happening now, says Skybridge Capital's Anthony Scaramucci. Let's get into it, guys. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
Bitcoin surging more than 7% on Wednesday, having its best day since March 25th. Cryptocurrency taking off after a cooler than expected CPI report. Right now, Bitcoin, I think, is still above 66. It is. Joining us now, Anthony Scaramucci, Skybridge Capital founder and managing partner. His new book is From Wall Street to the White House and back.
If you guys don't know, he was in the White House for like 10 days or something.
Let's go over his experience, and it's actually 4 pages. It's
4 pages?
Because it.
Oh, you're making fun of the 11 days, Joe. Yeah. No, well, no, that was
11 days.
You could also say 954,000 seconds, Joe. Sometimes I say it to my therapist like that. It makes me feel
every second was,
every second was meaningful.
You could,
Joe.
yeah, and you could probably write about almost every second.
221 pages for the record.
221 pages. Thank you. Is there see, if I pay him to read it, he charges me for the index. There's no index.
No, I read it. You can buy
read
it on
too.
Audible. I read it.
My God.
Dude, I don't know how they're still on the same cast together. Joe always gives that guy Andrew shit. Always.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for bringing up the book.
Are you?
Oh, that's funny.
Do you have updates on the institutional adoption of Bitcoin? I've seen some comments just recently. The PayPal guy said everything is eventually going to be on Lightning or something. I mean,
Lightning Network. Well, I mean, listen, we'll talk about Lightning Network if you want, but I think the institutional adoption is happening now. The state of Wisconsin announced. We expect other pension funds to announce. And, of course, Bitcoin now has the regulatory approval. And I think that was the rate limiting step for a lot of these large scale institutions. And just remember, if you're not long Bitcoin, you're possibly short Bitcoin in the sense that if you believe, and I think BlackRock has more or less said this, that this will be part of a long-term tactical asset allocation strategy for institutional investors, then at some point you've got to get long Bitcoin. Is it 1% of Bitcoin, 1.5% Bitcoin? I don't know. So a lot of smart institutions are saying, let me get long this thing before it becomes part of a total tactical asset allocation index. And I think that's starting to happen now, and that's very good for Bitcoin.
Is it because it's a hedge against 34 trillion in money printing or whatever it is?
Yeah, well,
or is it going to be used to seamlessly transact around the world? Or both?
So, I'm in the digital gold category.
At this point.
Yeah, Michael Saylor. I'll probably call my cell phone after this and say, no, this is in the universal currency category, meaning it'll eventually be the standardized currency for the world over the things like the Lightning Network. But I think what's important for people to do is to do the homework on Bitcoin, because when you do the homework on Bitcoin, you go towards Bitcoin. I know very few people that have done the homework, several hundred hours of understanding Bitcoin, not just reading the right white paper, but really understanding the history of money and all the different boxes that Bitcoin checks off.
That was
so
kind of a revelation.
But I've been in trouble on this because Skybridge announced our Bitcoin position in November of 2020. And a lot of institutions, wirehouses, they didn't like it. They didn't like the position. It's 4 years later. Now these very same wirehouses are adopting the position and are getting long the ETF, or at least allowing their financial advisors to recommend the ETF. And so, sometimes when you're early, you get a lot of bumps and scrapes. But I think it pays to be early in Bitcoin, and I think we're still early in Bitcoin.
What is the saying? First they laugh at you, then they make fun of you, then they fight you, and then you win or something. Then they join you, right? I don't know, something along those lines. Anyways, real quick before I let him continue over here, we have Crypto KJ actually put the link in the chat for this to tell us how they did it with the Ethereum hack. Prosecutors said they did so by exploiting a vulnerability in the code of software called the MEV Boost that is used by most Ethereum network validators, who are responsible for checking the new transactions are valid before they are added to the blockchain. Crazy, huh? And that's in regards to the 25 million stolen in seconds on the Ethereum network. That's freaking crazy.
If there's 21 million and it's going to eventually have a some percentage of what the gold market is. Why it should be, I mean, Tom Lee says 150 by the end of the year, which I have no idea what to think of 150,000 by the end. But it seems like if that is a given, that it should be moving up even more quickly.
Okay, well, let's just do the math together for a second. Let's say gold is $16 trillion.
Right.
And let's say Tom Lee is wrong by half, which I don't think he is, and I appreciate him coming to my book party last night. But I think Tom Lee's going to be right. But just if Bitcoin got to $8 trillion.
Was it the coiffed Tom Lee or was it the wild Tom Lee? Because
it was a little wild.
When he comes on here, you never know. It could be.
But he's an incredibly Zen-like guy.
He's so smart. I know.
Doesn't have your or my emotional wavelength, Joe. You know, we have a tendency to sign and co-sign.
Our product that we have in the hair.
No. And I need more product lately, Joe. Not less product, more product.
Joe's officially gotten to that age where the filter just left. There's no filter anymore, period. All right, meme stock mania fades. You guys know that Roaring Kitty guy pushed like the GameStop stuff by people assuming that he meant things are going up by like posting a meme, or he's just like kind of leaning forward. Anyways, over here, CNBC television, this is about 54 minutes ago. Let's see what they got to say.
The week started with meme mania resurging after a tweet from Roaring Kitty for the first time in 3 years. But the rally in GameStop and AMC shares both started to fade by midweek. Stocks are still up sharply, though, over the last several days. Joining us now with more, JJ Kinahan, CEO of IG North America. JJ, you're not the first person. You're not the first person to come in here and say that, as far as retail, it was kind of a non-event, even though it happened again. But it didn't really spread very much, and especially beyond GameStop.
No, it was pretty much 36 hours of excitement, if you will, Joe. But quite honestly, you know, it started on Monday. Our clients on Monday really didn't participate as much. On Tuesday, they participated more. What was interesting is it was game.
Hold on. You said on Monday they didn't participate much. Maybe that's because you shut down the market for 6 times in one day and they didn't have a chance to get in on it. I mean, that could be why. Just saying.
It was also a bit of AMC, and quite honestly, our clients
see the spike, right? They let all the big guys get in on it. When the price moves, okay, it goes all the way up. This is why stocks are so fucking twisted. All right. They got all the big guys get in, they get the buy orders in, and it kills the market because they move at X amount of percent, right? If it's like, I think it's like, what is it, 7, 13, and 20 or something? I could be wrong. It's close to that, but there's like 3 increments, right? They'll knock the market off the table for anybody to purchase or buy or sell for like X amount of hours, like 2 hours, 3 hours, or something stupid, right? So then the next day, when these people want to get in on the pump, they get in and buy, and the big guys are like, oh, fuck that, and they dump it, and then it gets paused again, and now you can't get out of it. Like, it's so twisted.
Participated more in AMC than they did in GameStop, and I think that's purely a function of price. The fact
all right, so Crypto KJ just said 9 times it was paused on Monday and 36 times on Tuesday, which makes total sense. The big guys are taking their money and they're making sure you guys can't get out. Like, that's crazy.
The matter is, you know, AMC was a cheaper stock, cheaper options, and let's face it, people who have participated, this, in I'm going to guess most every case, was not part of their normal game plan. It was a momentum stock, and people were, you know, the part of their portfolio that they're willing to take a little bit more risk on. They went in and did that. So overall, this was not one that spread like, you know, wildfire, which we saw back a few years ago.
That's so crazy to me. And this is why the crypto market is like better in a sense. I mean, yes, it's stupid volatile because when things start to dump, everybody can dump and it doesn't get halted, right? But on the flip side, at least you have the chance to. There's nobody controlling you to stop you from doing it. You know what I mean?
More excitement with the CPI probably on Wednesday. Was the volume really strong on Wednesday, and then Thursday you said it was the volume dried up immediately. What does that say? Even though we went over 40,000, which is, I mean, the S&P is the main index, but
yeah, Coinbase just goes down instead. Yeah, but you don't need to use Coinbase, to be fair. You could just swap into what I would recommend if I was going to get out of something quick, I would straight up just use my Tangem and swap it out to USDT or USDC. That way it's in a stable coin and I'm good, right? I don't have to worry about it. Then I could send it to Coinbase when it's done crashing, pulling its bullshit, and I could sell it right to my bank account, right? So that's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, the Dow is a wonderful index, and back when it was invented, obviously made a lot of sense. But for, it's 30 stocks, price weighted, doesn't make a lot of sense. S&P is the one people actually care about. The Dow overall is not one that, 40,000, great. Well, maybe psychologically some people thought it was a big deal, but overall, let's face it, no professional wakes up and says, all right, here's what the Dow's doing. If the way for your viewers to think about it in terms of those who are retail, again, look at the indices that the mutual fund managers, et cetera, are being compared to. It's always the S&P 500. So that's the one that you should be watching overall. That's the one that actually matters. And because of the way it is weighted in terms of a volume and, a float and price of the stocks rather than just pure price of the stocks.
Then what about Thursday, yesterday, in terms of volume, compared to Wednesday? Go on.
Yeah, no, yesterday was actually okay. It's been a strange week in that we haven't seen the crazy volumes. Yeah, you could say, AMC and GameStop did add some volume. There's no question about that. But at the end of the day, that's not sustainable volume overall. So I think that what you're seeing, today we have an expiration, so I would expect to see a little bit more volume overall, particularly in the first half hour and in the last half hour. But it's been a strange week in terms of it almost feels like people are already sort of winding down a little bit, if you will, for Memorial Day. I think next week may help a little bit in terms of we start to get some of the retail earnings. I think those are going to be some of the most interesting earnings overall. You have things like Target and Macy's. And so we really want to see what they're going to say going forward in terms of their outlook, because it's been a little bit of a strange story from the retailers so far. And, I really thought the comments by Walmart yesterday in terms of people searching for value, which is often, as you know, people trading down a little bit in terms of maybe what they're going for. So I think we're finally starting to see the real first effects in many ways on the consumer in terms of what's going on for some of the inflationary pressures, et cetera. So it'll be interesting to see if Target, Macy's are seeing that same kind of thing overall, and if they talk about the value type customers. So for me, next week is something that gives us a real insight into going forward. And again, if you look at the rate cut expectations, a lot of people only have one on the table right now, with September being at about 68% probability of a rate cut.
All right. Sorry, my kid's yelling at me. All right, Crypto KJ, let's see what you sent me in the chat, actually. That is not it. That is not what I meant to grab. Hold on. Copy link address. Let's see. That is blocked. You're right. Wait. Weird. Coinbase resumes operations after 3-hour outage. I didn't hear this at all. May 14th. So that was Monday? Is that Monday? Weird. Dude, these freaking ads, man. I'm not clicking on nothing. All right, whatever. Nope. Ads everywhere. I hate Chrome. So terrible. Anyways, all right. Bitcoin rises above 65,000 after CPI report shows inflation easing in April. All right. So this is from Wednesday. We were going to watch this yesterday before my computer crashed. So I'm going to play the beginning of this. Depending on who they talk to, I might not watch the rest of that, but we'll see. That's why I went a bit early today. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's get to the top stories. Ryan Salem, the former CEO of FTX Digital Markets, is asking for an 18-month prison sentence for his role in the collapse of the crypto exchange. In a filing on Tuesday, attorneys for Salem said that he should face a sentence below federal guidelines because he had absolutely no knowledge that top executives at FTX and Alameda Research conspired to steal from customers. Now, they asserted that Salem had stolen from no one and was duped like everyone else. At the same time, they said that he had, quote, lapses in judgment, but that his actions were motivated by the desire to build a lawful business and advance crypto for societal good. Back in September, Salem pleaded guilty to conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmitting business and conspiracy to make unlawful political contributions and defraud the Federal Election Commission. Next, Circle, the issuer of the USDC stablecoin, is trying to shift its legal home base ahead of its upcoming IPO. A Circle spokesperson confirmed to us that its parent company filed paperwork with the High Court of the Republic of Ireland to re-domicile the company to the United States. The move comes as Circle prepares for a U.S. IPO, which is expected once the SEC completes its review. and many companies often pick Ireland as a home base for its low taxes. But the country recently hiked its corporate taxes to 15% for some of the biggest businesses. That's still lower than the U.S.'s 21% effective tax rate, though. Finally, Robinhood Crypto is launching staking for users in Europe. The company announced that customers in the region can stake Solana directly through the Robinhood app to let them earn rewards. That feature launches alongside new learning tools for crypto investors and region-specific apps with local languages. The VP and general manager of Robinhood Crypto said in the announcement that the update was a significant step in bringing a tailored app experience. These features are rolling out in the EU just as Robinhood faces a potential legal challenge here in the US. The company disclosed earlier this month that the SEC sent a Wells notice warning of possible legal action over its crypto operations. All right, sticking with the SEC for our main story. All eyes are on the agency's expected decision on spot Ether ETFs next week. So Crypto World's Talia Kaplan spoke with Rob Haddock, general partner at Dragonfly, a global crypto venture capital and research firm, about what he thinks we can expect.
Ooh, I actually want to watch this. All right, I'm going to run upstairs quick. I got to give my kids some food, but we're going to play this.
I want to start off talking about markets because the latest CPI report out today showed inflation easing last month, with consumer prices still rising nearly 3.5% from a year ago. Now, following that announcement, Bitcoin has been climbing, trading above $64,000 this morning. But in the days leading up to today, Bitcoin has been stuck in a range of around $60,000 to $63,000 after hitting new all-time highs in recent months, with all the excitement around ETFs and the Bitcoin halving. So what do you think is driving crypto prices right now, and what do you see happening in the weeks to come?
Yeah, I think broadly, Bitcoin prices and crypto prices broadly have been mostly affected by the macro environment. So you see that today with Bitcoin and ETH and the entire market price moving up post that CPI print. It was down on a month-over-month basis and down on a year-over-year basis as well. That follows what has been, I would say, a couple of months of unnerving reads and a little bit of concern that we might be having inflation pick back up. And so you see that the market is clearly playing off of these CPI prints. I think Bitcoin, even more than the rest of the market, is pretty obviously a macro asset, and it seems to be trading most in line with how much liquidity there is in the market. So whether or not quantitative easing is coming back, and whether or not we see the reduction of the bank balance sheets, and that's what the market is reacting to, and especially relative to where they expect interest rates to come, and whether they get cut or whether there is a potential hike in interest rates later this year.
And it certainly will be very interesting to continue to follow and see what happens. But, many people are paying attention to next week's expected decision from the SEC on spot Ether ETFs. The agency must decide on VanEck's and ARK's filing, which are first in line, by next Thursday and Friday, respectively. Last month, issuers of spot Bitcoin ETFs told CNBC that the SEC is unlikely to approve such a product for Ether. That includes VanEck's CEO. I know you hold that same view. Why do you think the SEC might not greenlight the Ether applications like they did for spot Bitcoin ETFs back in January?
Yeah, I mean, my perspective is that we're pretty near zero in terms of the likelihood of a spot ETH ETF getting approved this month. I do expect it to happen eventually. I think the SEC has signaled that they do not want to engage on this topic right now. And I think there's a number of different reasons for that. Some of them are just political in nature, and it's clear that the SEC has wanted to, take a tough stance on the entirety of the crypto market, and they see this as, one of those beachheads. So whether or not they decide that the reasoning is because of staking, or the reasoning is because of, potentially that they see ETH as a security, which would go against CFTC guidance, I do believe that they will decide to deny the ETH ETFs this month, though I think that's just kind of the first and what will be a long battle.
So how do you think the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs back in January here in the US changed the landscape and sentiment towards crypto? I want to point to some data from Dragonfly's data scientist. According to the data, nearly $11.5 billion flowed into Bitcoin ETFs since launching, accounting for about 4% of current Bitcoin supply. The data shows flows into these ETFs over the past week slightly in the red. What do all these figures signify? And do you think the hype surrounding these products might be cooling a bit now, or is it just temporary?
Yeah, my belief is it's just temporary. The Bitcoin ETFs were by far and away the most successful.
Can we just talk about this stack of books right here real quick? Is that a bookshelf? That's a bookshelf. That's some weird like hippie shit bookshelf. But dude, I swear to God, I thought it was stacked on these little mini PCs. Like in, look at that. Maybe like double take.
ETFs at launch and within a month and 2 months that have ever launched, right? And so it far exceeded my expectations, and I think most of our expectations on how quickly they would grow. Becoming $12 billion of net inflows over that period of time is just an extraordinary achievement. And typically when ETFs launch, it actually takes quite a long time for the wirehouses, the wealth managers, the asset managers to be able to go through their investment committees and, you know, recommend or deploy some capital into these types of ETFs. And so the fact that we had that much in terms of inflows in such a short period of time is in and of itself just extraordinary. I believe that we're just seeing the market start to digest that a little bit. And we will start to see, you know, that longer tail of wealth managers, asset managers start to come in, but at a more, you know, kind of normal and, you know, slower moving pace over the rest of the year.
And it certainly will be very interesting to follow that as well. But last month, you were quoted in the Wall Street Journal in an article about venture capital deals as saying that your crypto-focused venture firm made roughly 15 to 20 deals each quarter in the years leading up to and including 2021. But since the venture market soured in 2022, that number was cut back to a handful. You did note, however, that Dragonfly increased the size of each investment by up to 4 times since 2022. So where do things stand right now, and how do you decide what's worth investing in? And generally speaking, what are you noticing as it pertains to deal activity?
Yeah, I mean, so for Dragonfly specifically, I think it's still status quo to what I said back then, which is we are really focused on getting the appropriate ownership and like large check sizes into things that we really believe in. And what we're not doing is we're not spraying and praying. What we've actually seen very interestingly in the crypto market on the public side is that there's been kind of more differentiation between returns in different types of assets. So in 2021, I think it was a bit where all risk assets, inclusive of almost all crypto tokens, were gaining at the same time. Now what we're seeing is asset selection matters. And, you know, traditional venture math would tell you that, you know, you need to get a lot of ownership in the things that work, because that's the only way it makes up for the things that don't work. And so that's where we're really focused. In the market more broadly, I think we're seeing a lot of spraying and praying, to be honest, which is how I think we differentiate. So we see a lot of deals getting done, a lot of froth in the venture market. I think April, we were over 1.35 billion of venture capital that was announced. I think the actual number, you know, pre-announcement is much larger than that. The deal sizes are getting big. The valuations are getting bigger. People are rushing to get money into the market because they're seeing this kind of stamp of approval that the ETFs have brought, that the price action have brought this year. And I think that spells a lot of bad things for these funds and potentially bad returns for people who are overpaying and forgetting that price still matters, and that you have to be judicious with how you get into things, when you get into them, and you know what your appropriate sizing is.
Interesting. All right, shout out to CNBC Crypto World for that. Let's move on to yesterday's show. Morgan Stanley discloses $270 million investment in Grayscale Bitcoin ETF. Look at that. Actually, I totally forgot to hit the like button over here. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. Let's do it.
Okay, let's talk about the top stories for today. Morgan Stanley scooped up hundreds of millions of dollars in Bitcoin ETFs in the first quarter. The investment giant reported to the SEC that it held around $269 million of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust at the end of Q1, and another $2 million of the ARC21 shares Bitcoin ETF.
Jesus.
We've been waiting to see just how quickly major investment firms take on these new products, and we expect to learn more as the SEC's deadline closes for investment firms to disclose their first quarter holdings. Next, the Department of Justice charged two brothers for a $25 million crypto heist.
Oh, damn, here it is. Here it is.
According to the indictment unsealed yesterday, James and Anton Pereira Bueno are being charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. The DOJ alleges both men exploited the Ethereum network by posing as validators and redirecting the pending transactions to steal the $25 million within just 12 seconds.
How does that happen? That's freaking crazy.
The brothers graduated from MIT, and U.S. Attorney Damian Williams from the Southern District of New York says the brothers, who studied computer science and math, quote, allegedly used their specialized skills and education to tamper with and manipulate the protocols relied upon by millions of Ethereum users across the globe.
The biggest question for me is, how the hell do you know how to do something like that sophisticated, and you don't cover your tracks? Like, how do you get caught if you're that good with computers? Like, what the fuck? I don't understand it. Like, I don't know.
Their father, James Pereira of MIT, when asked about the arrests, told CNBC, "We are in shock. We don't even know what's going on," and declined to comment further. Last, a developer behind Tornado Cash has reportedly appealed a money laundering conviction in Dutch court.
Crazy.
A spokesperson for the court reportedly told CoinDesk that Alexei Pertsov is appealing a 64-month sentence that was handed down to him on Tuesday. The report said that it could take months for that appeal to happen, but that Pertsov could...
Do you guys think the Tornado Cash people should go to jail for this, for their platform? They don't know what the hell you're using it for. I mean, I guess, like, I get it, right? Yeah, it is kind of like washing money, right? I get it. But at the same time, you can't control everybody using your platform. It's up. You know what I mean? Like, they just made a program or software that you could use. Like, I don't know. I feel like there should be punishment, but there should be like a little more reasoning behind it.
Remain in his home until his new trial. As we mentioned on Tuesday, two other developers of the crypto mixer also face allegations of money laundering and sanctions violations in the U.S. One of those developers is still on the run, while the other will head to trial this September.
Damn.
All right, for our main story, the WorldCoin Foundation, the group behind the eye-scanning identity platform, announced it's launching a new secure multi-party computation system. The goal? Well, setting a new standard for data protection. After that announcement yesterday, Crypto World's Talia Kaplan spoke with Tiago Sada, head of product, engineering, and design at Tools for Humanity. He walked her through the new system and what else the foundation is doing to address privacy concerns.
Interesting.
The WorldCoin Foundation just announced that it launched a new system aimed at data protection.
This mofo's got one of them world things right there.
That includes the protection of biometric
WorldCoin.
data. I'm told this is the first time the technology has been successfully implemented at this scale and could provide a model for big tech and others to adopt in an effort to protect user data. Can you take us through how this new system works and how it can potentially serve as a model for other companies?
Yes, so as you're saying...
Dude, this is the guy that's using that. Is he using a filter, or are his eyes really this crazy? Last time we saw this dude on a video, it looked like his eyes were just pinged open. Like, I don't know.
The WorldCoin Foundation today announced a big breakthrough in a type of cryptography called secure multi-party computation.
Is it a filter?
And basically what this means for WorldCoin is that it's immediately even more private and even more decentralized than it was already. And so to take a bit of a step back, the way this cryptography works is you take a bit of data and you can split it into a bunch of little pieces, and you scramble those pieces so that each of those pieces you cannot even read like that part of the data. And then you can do operations on them, or you can use that data without ever fully bringing it back together.
So it's almost like a filter that forces you to stay in contact with the camera. That's weird, huh?
That means is that if one of those pieces ever gets hacked, people don't get access to the full information of all of your all of your data.
Now, as we all know, WorldCoin's eyeball scanning device called an orb, which I actually see right behind you, got a lot of heat over privacy concerns. Now, the WorldCoin Foundation also just announced that after the migration of the iris codes to the new system, it, quote, securely deleted the codes of users collected when people who signed up for the WorldCoin project had their eyeballs scanned by the devices. How were you able to securely carry this out?
Crypto KJ said it's on NVIDIA Broadcaster PC app. Oh, what, the eye thing? Weird. That's weird. And yeah, I didn't even notice the Lego beginner's book. Back here, Dan R. Good catch.
Yes, so to take a bit of a step back of how the system works is biometric systems in general, like when you think about what an airline does at an airport or what a government does, is they take the biometric data and they put that on a server, right? World ID already before this upgrade was already much more private and secure than that. Because the way it worked is your data, your verification data actually lives on your phone, on your personal device, so only you have access to it. And the only thing that lived on a server was this thing called an iris code. And that iris code is, on a technical sense, is something like a hash, which is almost like a scrambled version of your iris, right? Now, what this upgrade allows is that even that gets split up into a bunch of little pieces so that even that is not just stored there. And so with this upgrade, we were able to retroactively delete all of the previous versions of iris codes, which were already much more secure than the industry standard of just storing things raw on a server. Now, just as this new cryptography can be applied for the use case of verifying people's biometric data, it turns out you can use that for a bunch of other things. So the foundation has actually published a paper and the actual system open source so that other organizations, whether it's companies or nonprofits, can use this new technology to protect their data. So for example, just last year, the Red Cross released a paper where they were looking into different ways of securing people's health data so that they could be shared to improve people's health, but in a secure manner. And they identified SMPC, so this technology, as the ideal candidate. But they said at the time that it was probably unfeasible technically because it was just really inefficient. It was slow. It was really compute expensive, which just means it's really expensive to run. But with this new system, with this new breakthrough that the foundation has announced, someone like the Red Cross can apply that system to secure, in their case, health data, or someone like Facebook could use it to secure just user data in general. So this is not just specific to biometric data.
That's messed up. Crypto KJ just sent this to me. Look at this guy. Eye contact off. Eye contact on. That's the filter. It makes your eye face straight. That's messed up, dude. That's crazy.
Interesting. Now, focusing on privacy concerns,
that's crazy.
Since WorldCoin launched last year, criticism related to privacy surrounding its key feature led to some regulators to look into the project. In March, Spain's privacy watchdog ordered WorldCoin to temporarily stop operating in the country amid concerns about what it was doing with the personal information of users. And then a few weeks later, WorldCoin was hit with another ban in Europe when Portugal's data regulator ordered it to stop collecting biometric data for 90 days. So what's the latest update tied to those bans? And are these recent data protection announcements from the WorldCoin Foundation a direct response to those privacy concerns?
Yeah, so first, I think it's important to clarify that WorldCoin hasn't been banned anywhere in the world. Generally, any country where there's operations, we're probably either Tools for Humanity or the foundation or whoever is running operations in a given country is in close contact with regulators, both financial and privacy regulators.
Mr. Rude Puss, thanks for being a member for 28 months, dude. Schmiegel, let's go. It's Friday. Party on. Hadouken you, sir. Thank you so much.
Most of the times when regulators need to look into a system to understand and to make sure that what we're saying is in fact true, they can do that while operations are going on. In some cases, like you mentioned in Spain and Portugal, they will request that we temporarily pause operations so that they can perform their review of the system. While that's not ideal, it's something that we understand and we respect. And so now in terms of these upgrades like this one being related to that, I think that regulators and experts always make it clear like where they think the system can be better. But in general, something like this research has been a deep area of investment and of research for more than a year, and that is the case with many of the things that have been announced over the past year. And so we certainly take the input that regulators or the community has, and that also just helps prioritize. Okay, in this really long roadmap, which things do you tackle first? But in general, something like SMPC has been in the works since last year, and it's just a really difficult problem that is well beyond the state of the art of what anyone does, not just in biometrics, but any type of data privacy.
Crazy.
So what's the latest tied to Spain and Portugal? Are those temporary pauses now no longer in effect? I think Portugal probably still is, since it was 90 days, but what about Spain?
Yes.
Dan R said it so he can look at his screen and read his notes, not getting hit for not knowing the ish he's selling. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. You know what? That honestly, that would be kind of useful for like YouTubers that read a teleprompter, because like Lark, right? Love his videos, but you could tell he's reading a teleprompter, right? You wouldn't be able to tell if you had that filter on. It's kind of neat.
So both of those requests were
I guess the catalyst is that you look like you've just done an entire 8-ball to your face. Because your eyes are like just pinned.
90 days. We're still in that 90-day period, and nothing yet to announce in regards to that.
And you are in fact working with both.
Cocaine's one hell of a drug.
Regions to try and sort out their concerns.
Yeah, in general, any country where there's orbs, you can probably bet that we are in close contact with the regulators, just explaining the systems, addressing any concerns that they have.
I just came across an article this week that said that Malaysia's regulator approved the trading of the WorldCoin token. What's your reaction to that development?
Oh, Crypto KJ, that's a good point. You said that plant even looks superimposed. I don't think the plant's fake. But do you think that WorldCoin thing's fake? I don't think so. I think everything in the background's real. That would be trippy though.
Yeah, so in general, I don't talk a lot about the token. We're always excited about working with countries in general. In the case of Malaysia specifically, it's public that there were some meetings with the government a couple of weeks ago. We are generally very excited about governments, just like companies, using these open protocols that we're building. If they find them useful, if they find that even with all the privacy restrictions, they're good for their use cases, like we're very excited for them to adopt the technologies that the WorldCoin protocol is putting out there.
All right, shout out to CNBC Crypto World for that. All right, Crypto Zombie. What I'm going to do is I want to play the beginning just because beginnings are always funny, but I'm going to skip through the Bitcoin analysis part and just kind of get into the news stuff. I didn't get to see this with you guys yesterday. Hit that like button, guys.
Guys, K-Dub here with another episode.
All right, we're going to jump through again. Shout out to K-Dub. I love his Bitcoin analysis, but it's just I want to skip the 6 minutes because it's too much. Real quick, Aldebaran, I don't announce it, to be honest.
For Bitcoin this cycle, so we are still looking at around $100,000 to $102,000 Bitcoin for this cycle, and all the signs are still pointing to it, despite the fact that we've had this extremely boring sideways price action, right? And this is what happens. You have these very exuberant moves, we have these crazy blasts off, and then we have these cool down periods, right? And that's all we were going through right now, even though, yes, I do agree it's been a little bit boring, but if you were smart, if you were taking these opportunities to dollar cost average, well, I do believe that this is going to pay out in the long run. And if we actually come over here and have a look at what Seth was pointing out, Bitcoin bears continue to get wrecked. We have Bitcoin price up while open interest is down. Spot buying is increasing. So obviously, these whales, these big institutions or whoever, they don't want to just surge the price immediately, right? What they want to do is they want to sort of buy. They want to buy into that, that weakness, that selling. They want to go in there and scoop that up, but they don't want to move the price too much because they want to make sure that they can get enough of that allocation, right? And as you can see right here, On-Chain College points out, what do you notice about prior cycle tops in Bitcoin's history? When you're looking at the relationship of market cap and hash rate, we see multiple standard deviations above the mean when the Bitcoin price is around the cycle top. And I think it's very clear to see that we are nowhere near the top. I mean, we're only really just in the middle somewhere, right? We have a lot more to go. And there was so much that was telling us that this cycle had a lot more gas in it. Now, I know we've seen some crazy things going on. We got GameStop meme stocks pumping again, S&P still moving up. And again, we have the DXY falling down. So again, while everyone's calling for doom and gloom and the bears are saying we're going back down to 30,000, we've just been holding this sort of level, right? Bouncing sort of between the 61,000 fake out to the downside up to 71,000 fake out to the upside. But for the most part, we are just in an accumulation range, and there is nothing stopping us from having this bull run continue. And honestly, guys, the thing is it's very boring until it's not. And once the price starts to move, that's when you're going to have that FOMO where, we've been hanging around between 60 and 70, bouncing around, having these, lower highs, people freaking out. And then all of a sudden, it's just going to take off. And next thing you know, you're going to have that $84,000, $102,000 Bitcoin. And that can happen very, very quickly, as we have shown multiple times in the past. But
Crypto Frank said, how does this guy walk around wearing that stuff and not get beat up or robbed? That's a good point. But honestly, most people still it's so crazy that there's so much ignorance around cryptocurrency still. Nobody really knows much about it, right? So I mean, how do they even go about stealing it if they really don't know what it is? You know what I mean?
the question is, who exactly is buying? Why should we, be excited? Is it really as big of a deal? Well, I mean, first of all, it was the most successful ETF launch of all time, the Bitcoin ETF.
Facts.
But I'll let Matt Hogan sort of break it down for you.
There's maybe $50 billion in assets, north of $10 billion of net flows. Flows have restarted after taking a few days off. We're actually in a really interesting point right now, Bob, because we're getting the 13F filings, where we're seeing whether professional investors are allocating to these ETFs. Those filings are due May 15th, but they're already a large number in, and there are a huge number of really iconic firms allocating to these ETFs, well north of 500 professional investors making investments, including firms that manage money on behalf of Yale and Princeton and others, firms like Hightower Advisors. These ETFs are being adopted by professional investors. We're learning that right now. And I suspect we're going to see the inflows from that group accelerate in the second half of the year. So from any perspective, a massive success. And I think that success will continue and compound in the second half.
So you can see, while there's all this doom and gloom in the background, we have Boston-based hedge fund accumulating $363 million worth of Bitcoin ETF shares. We also have BlackRock, Fidelity, and Bitwise ETFs drawing $205 million from New York's Pine Ridge Advisors. Now, they're saying that the investment represents a significant portion of the firm's total assets under management. But it's just a flash in the pan, right? No, guys, I told you, these things take time. You weren't just gonna have an ETF out and then suddenly everyone and their mother was gonna buy it. No, these guys, they're traditional, they're dinosaurs, right? They wanna wait. They wanna wait and see and track the progress, make sure that the product is legit. They wanna have data to bring to their clients. So they don't care. They're not like us. They're not trying to buy the dips. I mean, maybe some of these, traditional traders might, but not these long-term holders, these people that are just looking to basically put 1%, 3%, maybe 5% of their portfolio into Bitcoin, and they don't care about the swings. They're just going to hold it long term. They're going to call up their guy and they're going to be like, hey, Bob, listen, I want a 3% allocation. Let's just, buy some, and we're going to hold it for the next 5 to 10 years. But they want to see that progress. And if you think that's funny, major U.S. banks disclose growing Bitcoin investments through ETFs. JP Morgan and Wells Fargo have revealed investments in Bitcoin ETFs. Wait a minute, hold on. JP Morgan? Hold on, guys. So let's just go back to April 18th. Well, this wasn't April 18th. This was actually a while ago. But you have JP Morgan CEO saying Bitcoin is a fraud and a Ponzi scheme. And I don't know if you remember that video, but he said that he would fire anyone who he found trading it. And yet at the same time, they were one of the largest buyers.
Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks, people listen. People listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. Bruh. And that's not illegal.
So this
nope, but it's definitely up. Just saying.
That's why we always say watch what they do, not what they say, right? So this is basically how it started.
He sucks. He sucks so bad.
and how it's going. JP Morgan Chase discloses spot
big
Bitcoin
money
ETF.
That's how big people make money, though.
So it really is just a matter of not really if, but when they eventually just come around to it, guys. And Bitcoin is going to be an asset class that is here to stay, and it will be in virtually every portfolio at some point in the future, right? And, you know, I just want to give a friendly reminder. This is what we said when we had the ETF launch, and some people were saying, oh, it's not performing that well.
Facts.
Well, guys,
and also, yeah, Dan Ari made a good point, and nobody calls him out on his bullshit. Yeah, that's so true. No one ever does.
don't forget that when you had the gold spot ETF launch, okay, it went sideways for 10 months. For 10 straight months, it just did absolutely nothing.
Well, that's because the big guys wait. They want to see how things are going to play out before they jump into it, right? Or most of the big guys, right? Or the other financial, in this case, other financial institutions like the small guys, right? That haven't actually allocated it to all of their investors like New York Life and places like that.
I'm sure they were saying it was a failure back then, and look at what gold did after that. And think about how low Bitcoin's market cap is and how much faster we could seriously have this Bitcoin pump, right? And again, if you look at the Bitcoin power law, we're only sitting just in the middle. And you can see that once we stay under this level for a very long time, as soon as we break above it, that is when you see the massive, massive price movements.
Oh, this is that video we watched from that Siam kid, I think that's his name. The power law. This is what he talked about, right? And how like Caspa follows it as well.
And zooming in right here, I mean, we're still only just dancing below it. So really, the fireworks have yet to begin. So again, I know there wasn't really much to go over, but you know, if we look at these cycles, the sort of, this is not literally spring, summer, winter, and fall. This is just the seasonality of Bitcoin broken down into the years of spring, summer, winter, and fall, winter, if you want to go in order for Bitcoin. And you can see right now, you know, you can see every time we enter this yellow zone, that is when we really start to take off, right? And you can see right here, we're only just beginning to enter. Oops, I don't know what's going on right now. My screen is messed up.
You just scared me.
There's obviously no Wi-Fi out here. But you can see, yeah, this is where we start to enter it. So again, you know, this is not the time to get scared. This is not the time to freak out. This is the time to be paying attention because, you know, everyone is getting bored right now. They're not paying attention. Maybe some people even stop dollar cost averaging. They think the Bitcoin run is over. Well, I would beg to differ on that. I think
Green Hash real quick said, I seen Caspa is going top tier 1 exchange soon. Which one? I heard Binance. There's a lot of FUD about that, but I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if it's true. I guess we'll have to see.
I think we're kind of just getting started, but you know, a little bit of a word of warning. You know, there were almost 1 million new crypto tokens created in the last month, and I know we've been looking at a lot of, you know, different altcoins on this channel, and you know, personally, well, some people make fun of how much Bitcoin I hold. I hold 90+% of my portfolio in Bitcoin. But hey, you do you, whatever your allocation is. So my exposure to altcoins is very small. It's only about 5 to 10% of my portfolio, you know, on any given day. However, the thing is I'm willing to lose that money if I'm wrong, right?
For me personally, it's like 50% Bitcoin, and then the rest altcoins, Ethereum, coins like that.
But in the chance that you're right, the upside potential of some of these altcoins is astronomical, and that 5% could actually literally become, you know, 99% of your portfolio, right? Like it literally could if you do, you know, one of these crazy 100x's, 1000x's, but just be very careful out there because there have been a lot of tokens which are sort of diluting the interest into Bitcoin, and they're not all going to survive, right? 99% of them do not survive. That's why, you know, you can dabble in the meme coins. That's fine. Some of them are going to do well. Most of them are going to die, but, you know, try to find those coins that you've done your research, that you believe in. Obviously, if I find any, I will share them on the channel, you know, but again, take it with a grain of salt. It's just what I'm doing. I'm not telling you to do. At the end of the day, if you want to play it safe, buy Bitcoin, hold it, you're going to be fine, right? But if you want to play in the meme coin casino or the altcoin casino, you know, just be very wary of the fact that there's a lot of altcoins that have come out recently, and you know, they're going to be sucking up a lot of the capital, and they're not all going to be winners, but I do believe that there will be. You know, you're always...
See, that's what people need to understand. Altcoins, like, it's just such a much bigger risk than it is for Bitcoin. Greater Good Mining said 90% of his portfolio and his wardrobe equal Bitcoin. You're definitely not wrong, but Bitcoin's a safer bet, right? Like, even though we know or think that certain coins, you don't know anything in crypto, right? So correct myself. We think that certain cryptos are going to do well, rather, such as Caspa or Litecoin or just any of these other cryptocurrencies, right? Altcoins, right? Everything other than Bitcoin, more or less, an altcoin, right? all of those are way more risky, but they also do have way more potential to pump faster or higher with like the multiplier, right? The X factor, right? So take it as you will, but you guys got to be careful. It's really, you really have to be careful. Do not risk more into alts than you can actually afford to lose. Like if you could wake up tomorrow and that shit's gone and you're fine with it, then okay, you should be investing in it. If you cannot miss that money or lose that money, then please don't invest into it.
You're gonna have something like
You know
a
what I
chain
mean?
link and Ethereum,
Doesn't matter what it is.
something that will be able to continue to the next cycle, right? But
like if you want to like mitigate risk with altcoins, go after the ones that have been around forever, like Cardano, like Polkadot, like Ethereum Classic, just like, you know what I mean? Like certain coins that have been around for a long time, like Caspa, I think it's going to do great, but it hasn't been around for a full bull cycle ever, right? It's never seen a bull market, not once. So we don't know what's going to happen. It could be awesome or it could be total shit. Could catch us off guard, right? So you got to pay attention and just be careful.
that won't.
There we go.
So just be very careful about that. But of course, it doesn't mean that we can't make a lot of money along the way. So that was just a little bit of a disclaimer. And I do want to just end here on what Intuitio posted over on Twitter. I just want to read this to you. So, and I kind of agree with this. So he says this bear trap is almost exact replica of 2021 summer's bear trap. There's only one difference. Bitcoin and ETH are stronger than in 2021. Here are the facts. The 21 bear trap took place from mid-April to mid-July, so a total of 3 months. We are currently 2 months into the current bear trap. In 2021, most alts went down 60 to 70%. If you kind of look at what's going on right now, most alts are down around 60%. Which, by the way, if you have been waiting for these opportunities to accumulate some of these altcoins, remember, you want to buy the fear and sell the greed. Well, right now, there's a lot of people that are in fear. So, not saying you should buy any particular altcoin, but if there's one that you believe in, you've done your research on, now's probably the time, right? In 2021, ETH went down 65%. It's down.
That's why I was DCAing into Cardano for a little while.
Only around 30% right now. But again, we haven't really seen those big 30% as much as we have in the past. So they say we can clearly see that the alts are down about the same in 2021, while ETH and Bitcoin are down only about half as much, which is actually an amazing sign of strength. So intuitively, I would say this is because of the ETFs. Again, we have a completely, new class of demand, right, that we never had before. So it's not over, it's far from over. Bottom is very close, which we actually could have recently just put that in as I'm making this video. We're gonna pump very soon, and yes, ETH is going to lift up the whole market. Alts being down 60% from the high seems crazy, but essentially hold your head up, keep grinding. The next 6 months are of crucial importance. Narnia. So yeah, that's basically where we're going to end it, guys. So,
all right. Shout out to Crypto Zombie for that. Let's move on. I haven't watched any of these videos. Again, my computer crashed yesterday, so I'm catching up. BlackRock is playing chess, the crypto markets right now. Let's see what Altcoin Daily's got to say.
The SEC has to approve, deny, or delay VanEck's application for a spot Ethereum ETF by May 23rd. That's the drop dead date. So what's going to happen?
The first deadline for the Ethereum spot ETF is next week. This is the VanEck, ARK Invest, and Hashdex ETF applications.
What do you guys think? Are we going to see a pump in price before it gets to that date, and then once it gets denied, pull back? Let me know.
Experts are
I think it's going to be denied.
Most likely get rejected.
Let's talk with Rick Edelman. He's the head of the Digital Asset Council of Financial Professionals, former head of Edelman Financial Engines, the biggest RIA in the country at the time. Rick, May 23rd, drop dead date. Approve, deny, or delay?
Deny.
Deny.
Yeah, there's no question. I would be astonished if the SEC said yes at this point. We're looking at traffic between the SEC and VanEck. And typically, as you approach a deadline, if they're intending to approve, there's a lot of email, a lot of meetings back and forth as they hone in on the application, get all the T's and I's the way they want them. That's not happening. There's relatively low level.
That's a good. So that's the tell. Crickets from the SEC means bad news.
It just means.
Well, you know what, too? Yeah, Crypto Franks, that so many are saying it's going to get denied. It makes me think it's going to get approved. But like that whole little hack thing that just happened, $25 million stolen off the Ethereum network. Like that's, I don't know. I honestly think it has to be denied at this point for right now.
They're not ready yet. They're busy with other things. They're going to kick the can. They have an opportunity to delay this decision. And they're going to do it probably until the end of the year.
There is still hope later this year, especially in August with Fidelity and BlackRock. BlackRock has a 99% success rating with their ETF applications.
I see value in having an Ethereum ETF. These are just stepping stones towards tokenization. And I really do believe this is where we're going to be going. We have the technology to tokenize today. You want to talk about issues around money laundering and all that. This eliminates all corruption by having a tokenized system.
Remember, experts are also saying that the SEC has no choice but to approve an Ethereum spot ETF for the exact same reason that the Bitcoin spot ETFs got approved. Basically, we can see what's going to happen 3, 6, 9 months from now.
Now, when the spot Bitcoin ETFs were denied by the SEC, remember that happened. They were successfully sued on the grounds that they had approved Bitcoin futures ETFs, and the court said since they were similar products, they had to approve the spot Bitcoin
That's another catalyst.
ETFs. But we already have approved Ethereum futures.
Same thing.
Isn't the same logic applicable here?
I believe it is, but this isn't going to cause the SEC to say no permanently. They're simply saying not yet, which is frankly in the Bitcoin world perfectly fine. The spot Bitcoin ETFs are still so new. There's so much attention there. So many firms are still racing to add these ETFs onto their platforms. The Ethereum ETFs, quite frankly, Bob, are a little bit of a distraction. So I think everybody's kind of okay with the fact that there's going to be a 6-month delay before the Ethereum ETFs come about.
Now, despite all of this, many are calling for Ethereum's price to break down, Vitalik to spend time in jail, Ethereum to be classified as a security.
So ultimately,
Wait. How can Vitalik spend time in jail? He's never been a U.S. citizen, right? I know, so Binance, the difference here between Binance and like Vitalik, right? Just kind of put them in like the same crypto category. Binance was an exchange that was in the US, allowing US users to use it. Like, how can Vitalik get in trouble? Because he's not running an exchange. Yes, he created a coin, but that's not grounds to put him in jail. Does that make sense? I don't understand that at all. I don't think he's ever going to go to jail for that.
The real issue boils down to whether Ethereum is a security or is it a commodity. Now, the CFTC says it's a commodity, just like Bitcoin. The crypto community has been mounting legal challenges against the SEC. So what is it? Is Ethereum a commodity or security? And where do you draw the line between this and all the other cryptocurrencies?
It's a land grab, as you pointed out. The SEC wants to call it a security, so they have jurisdiction over it. But that's a really difficult argument to justify. It's hard-pressed to demonstrate that Ethereum meets the so-called Howey test, which is how the SEC determines whether you're
an investment contract.
Exactly. And there's really hard justification to support that. It is a commodity, I believe. I think most are in that camp. It's going to be under CFTC regulation, not SEC, and that's going to force the SEC to say yes, just like they were forced to say yes to Bitcoin.
All right, so Fully Electric said CCXC, it's like Tornado Cash. You can create something, but you're also responsible in how it is used. Interesting. Yeah, I guess to a point, but it just, I don't know. Like, how does the U.S. have jurisdiction to throw him in jail for that? I don't know.
Bears are out in full force against Ethereum. Do not be fooled. We are witnessing one of the best buying opportunities for Ethereum in this cycle, in my opinion. Ethereum is not in play this cycle. Dude, L2s are on fire. The Ethereum ecosystem sure has changed. 82% of its activity now runs on layer 2s like Arbitrum, Optimism, or Base. This trend will not stop anytime soon, and it is a massive net plus for adoption and the value of Ethereum. Ethereum number of users are booming. BlackRock is launching real-world assets on Ethereum, seeded with $100 million.
Yeah, listen, BlackRock's not going to allow Ethereum to fail. BlackRock's dude, they're holding up like so much of this economy. Is not even funny. For them to deny this like permanently, I highly doubt it. Right? It would only be the second ETF ever denied fully if that ever happened, and I don't think it's going to happen.
I think this particular project that we're doing with BlackRock as well as the fundraise is very significant because it's going to be the largest tokenized fund in history, also the fastest growing, as you said, in less than 2 months. became the largest one, and also the fact that it's issued by the largest asset manager that has also become a shareholder and a board member of the company is a very important step in our journey.
ZK upgrades are coming for more scalability and privacy, plus the ETH ETF is inevitable. Larry Fink has done a masterful job ensuring the best entry for his clients into Ethereum after the ETF approval this year. Clearly wanted to make up for Bitcoin pumping 2x before he could enter that.
The reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea.
Do not be fooled. We warned you about this last year in an interview with Lark Davis.
There will be a time, especially when Bitcoin ETFs get approved, that everybody will say, it's only Bitcoin, baby, nothing else. Bitcoin maximalists will come crawling out of the woodwork. Everyone's wrong. Ethereum's going to go to zero, blah, 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 all the stuff we've heard before. There are times and seasons for different assets, and there will be a Bitcoin ETF, and it'll pump Bitcoin like crazy. Bitcoin dominance will rally super hard. All the money will chase after that. And then Ethereum ETFs will be approved. Spot ETFs, not futures ETFs. Futures ETFs are garbage. Spot ETFs are the real deal. And then Ethereum will be the new paradigm of money. And then the market will start taking off more broadly. But I just think that you have to look at...
Can you guys think of how good is that going to be for mining? If Ethereum takes off, right? How good will that Ethereum fork BS be for mining? Like, I feel like all, you know, it's gonna push everything in the upwards like area, right? Or trajectory. It's all gonna go towards the sky when price starts flowing in. It's gonna be crazy.
The reality that Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin on a total percentage basis. So if you were to invest $10,000 in Bitcoin and $10,000 into Ethereum, the Ethereum, I believe, will give you higher gains by the end of the cycle. Now, how much higher gains?
Yeah, he said that perfectly. That's kind of like what DJ is saying versus Max with Litecoin and Caspa, right? I think if you put the same amount of money into each coin, which one's gonna give greater returns at the end, right? But again, nobody knows what's gonna happen.
It's probably not going to be super significant. It's not like Ethereum is going to 50x and Bitcoin's only going to 5x. It's more like Bitcoin will 5x and Ethereum will 7x, something like that. So we'll outperform, but it's not going to be super dramatic outperformance.
Makes sense.
So that's something I need to highlight here. But there's so many things working in the favor of Ethereum outperformance. Bitcoin's got the Bitcoin ETFs. Bitcoin has the halving, all very exciting. Ethereum has ultrasound money, massive deflation, huge amounts of Ethereum being locked up in the staking contract. It's like 28 million coins right now. It's an over 2-year wait to get out of the staking contract. So that's a massive supply lock. Demand rising all the time for Ethereum layer 2 networks, which is sucking more ETH off of exchanges. Ethereum exchange balances at a 5-year low, down well over 50% in the last couple of years, down to about 14 million coins. So there's now twice as many coins in the staking contract, which are locked up for, like, you know, a long time to get out of that execute versus what's on exchanges. So Ethereum's got the moon math behind it, without a doubt, plus more use cases, obviously, than Bitcoin. And what's interesting is that an Ethereum ETF could even be more compelling for a lot of investors than a Bitcoin ETF, because the Bitcoin ETF is like holding a gold ETF, which is cool. An Ethereum ETF is like, exactly, it's more like holding Apple stock or something like that, because you get that dividend payment and massive exposure to massive innovation right across the crypto space. If you're bullish on layer 2s, if you're bullish on NFTs, if you're bullish on stablecoin payments, if you're bullish on crypto gaming, if you're bullish on any of that stuff, you buy an Ethereum ETF because that's going to give you exposure to all of it, plus a dividend yield.
Do you want to know the real reason why the spot Ethereum ETFs will get approved and Ethereum and crypto will pump a lot higher? Well, the former Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, just made some interesting comments on stablecoins on Bloomberg last Friday. This is extremely important for a few reasons. First of all, he mentions stablecoins unprompted in response to a question about how Congress can deal with the debt. This is pretty interesting. The first thing he thinks of is stablecoins.
Yeah, Alien Black, it's a good point. And that is how, yeah, people still act like Ethereum isn't the #2 crypto. I know, it's like literally second largest market cap in cryptocurrency and people still hate on it, but whatever, it is what it is.
Second, he's repeating industry talking points verbatim, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure that stables, if considered a sovereign, are the 16th largest buyer of treasuries. Third, this is Paul Ryan, former House Speaker. not some junior pro-crypto representative. The fact that someone of his stature is willing to openly say that stablecoins are a potential solution to the debt is quite remarkable and represents a considerable tonal shift. Have you noticed that elite policymakers have begun to make this transition towards recognizing the validity of stablecoins and accepting that they will be part of the financial fabric of the nation? I wonder who's helping them with that. Listen to Paul Ryan speak on this. This is absolutely amazing. Paul Ryan is pushing for a stablecoin bill that would increase Tether and USDC to trillions of dollars. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Treasury, meet your new source of demand.
I guess the question is, what could you do now, knowing we have debt problems in the future? I think there's a couple of things Congress could do. They're not, but maybe they'll get something done. I think stablecoin legislation would be a good step in the right direction. That could be helpful. That could be done this year, but I don't see anything other than that on the horizon.
Let's talk about stablecoin.
It's not a CBDC, right?
Why? Because I've heard you say that actually getting legislation on that could help treasury auctions. And when you said it, I said, what's the connection there? Take us through, take our audience through that connection.
Yeah, so stable coins, which are digital private sector dollar-backed currencies. It's not crypto because it's tethered to the US dollar. They have to have dollar-backed assets. They have to have treasuries or cash to back those stable coins. There's not a law that governs these right now, so they aren't really deployed. But if you actually have a law, which Patrick McHenry and Chair Waters, Maxine Waters and Patrick McHenry are putting a deal together. Schumer is in talks with them. I think there's a reasonable chance they could get a deal on stablecoin legislation. That means you have a legal framework in which you have stablecoins deployed. You'd go from a couple $100 billion of stablecoins to, maybe trillions. Right now, stablecoins are like the 16th largest buyer of bonds, bills, and notes among all sovereigns. If you actually regulate stablecoins, have them deployed, that does two things. That gets the U.S. dollar more deeply ingrained in the oncoming digitization of currencies. That's a good thing. And you create new consumers' demand for our bonds because they have to have those to back up the stablecoins. So more demand for treasuries, more use of a digital dollar throughout the system to help better entrench the dollar. It's a win-win situation for America. I think it's a no-brainer. I'm hopeful, cautiously optimistic Congress might do that this year still. There are good talks happening. And that's one thing you could do on the margin to try and, improve demand for our bonds and improve dollar.
Ethereum to $10,000, I think, is still on the table.
What do you guys think? Ethereum 10,000? Let me know. Let me know. All right, let's recap things before we get out of here. We're going to raid Miss Randy Hipper. She's going to be live in about 20 minutes. Let's see. Bitcoin looking like $66,337. We got Ethereum at $3,059. 10K easy. You think so? I hope so. That'd be nice. That would be a nice jump in price. Link is still doing great, over 20% up. Actually, Dan R said something about looking at the coins from 901 to 1,000. Oh Jesus. is this why you said this? 900 to 1,000 on the market cap. Look at this. The Jesus coin is up 48.6%. Oh god, I try not to look at that, but honestly, like, this is where you're gonna probably get a lot of the gains, right? If you look up I don't know, like even the top like 200 coins or even the top like 400 to 500 coins, some of these can get you like crazy money, right? But like, you got to do your research when you're looking through all these, and there is literally thousands of cryptocurrencies. It's like 20,000 or some crazy number. It's insane. But yeah, like, look at this, 35.9% up. This is 400 to 500 coins. Crypto Bubbles is kind of cool. I like how it does all that. But yeah, we try to stick to the 0 to 100 or 1 to 100, right? Let's see. Told us Pepe would moon. Let's see, what's Pepe at? What is this PP token at? Where is it? 27th. Oh god, it did have a little bit of a jump. $4.2 billion market cap. But dude, at the end of the day, it's a shit coin. I don't know how long it's gonna last. Man, I shouldn't have sold out of it though. I think I sold out like over here. It was like last, what's today? 17th? Yeah, it was like, yeah, it was around here. I like 4x my money and I was like, all right, I'm out. I don't know if this thing's ever gonna go higher. We're gonna see. But hey, listen, if you guys are in it, you guys can make a bunch of money. Good for you. I wouldn't buy it as it's going up though. That's foolish. That is foolish. At the end of the day, again, it's a meme coin. Let's see. Cardano, I think, is a very good chance. Nice. The 48 cents. Oh yeah. Having a nice jump up today. Nice. This is a 7-day, actually. It was 24 hour. So 24 hours. So it was at 45 cents. So it moved about 3 cents today. I think Cardano's a sleeping giant, to be honest. I think it's going to do good things. Hopefully 84% down as of, 2 years ago. $3.09. Again, if you guys look at the max charts, 2017 or right end of 2017 into 2018 and then 2021 bull run, like they both peaked. 2024 is just around the corner, guys. It's one of them coins. It is a slow burn for sure, so we're gonna have to see what happens there, but I think it's gonna do good. And I think Dogecoin, Raul Paul said it perfectly. Dogecoin is a cockroach. It is going to survive everything, and it has survived everything. It's proven us it surprised everybody, actually, right? Even though this doesn't look that great, it ran up super high in 2021. I don't know what's gonna happen in 2024, but if it gets anywhere close to this, I can tell you right now, a lot of us are going to be happy. We're down almost 80%. Again, 73 cents it made it to. If Dogecoin gets to $1, that would be a freaking Hadouken and a half. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. COQ. How's COQ doing? It's another meme coin. Oh, I'm gonna have to sell out of this one too. Let's see. I put like, I don't even know, $30 into this one a while ago. I did it on a swap on a video. Let's see. Let's go to the month. Oh, you know what? This one's probably, no, this one's still down. I'll hold it. I'll just hold it and see what happens. Like this one's like, dude, honestly, like if you put like 20-30 bucks into meme coins, just random meme coins, like you probably win on one of them, right? Pretty decently. You're gonna lose on most of them though, so you gotta be careful, right? But this one, I guess we'll have to see what happens. I'm just gonna hold it. It's literally, I'm not losing much, right? 59% down on the from its all-time high. Let's see, anything else jumping out at us? Render's doing very good. It's in top 30 right now. $3.9 billion market cap. Caspa, I really do wonder if it's going to get to Binance or not. I really do wonder. And the price has been slowly going up though in the past 24 hours. Let's see, 7 days came down. It's going back up. Month, it's kind of all over the place, to be honest. But next month in June, KRC 20 tokens are supposed to be coming to light, so we're gonna have to see what happens. How is Flux and Dynex? Good question, actually. Flux was like 80 cents last time I looked. 89 now. Nice. Maybe it was a little was it 80 cents? Yeah, it was like low 80s. Interesting. Yeah, it's 89 cents now. Doing all right. Let's see Dynex. Dynex has really been taking a shit, actually. 53 cents. Oh wow, it had a jump. It was at 50 cents yesterday. Yeah, I remember looking at this. It is ranked 700th. Wow, 700. Crazy. The market cap's only 47 million. Wow, that's really low. That's relatively low. Its all-time high was $1.39, 61.8% down from 6 months ago. Crazy. This coin hasn't seen a bull market either, so let's see where this one goes. I don't know, man. What do you guys think about Dynex? Anybody think good things about Dynex? I wonder if it's a good buying opportunity right now. Maybe I should get some. The only thing that sucks is the wallet, man. Like, I don't want to do it with the core wallet. It's a pain in the ass. I just hate dealing with them. It's really not, but like, I just don't trust core wallets. I mean, it's really, you got to trust your security in your network, right? It's really not that. But yeah, I don't know. Neoxa, how's Neoxa doing? Down. Oh god. Oh my god, Neoxa's falling off a cliff. What is happening? I need to stop making videos about this again. What is happening? No. You know what? This is a real good time to actually mine into Neoxa if you want to get a master node. Because mining into this over on unmineable, that would be a way better yield than it was. Interesting. Let's check out Radiant just because you said not to. Oh god, Radiant. Yeah, Radiant's one of them coins I've never been into. I'm just not interested in it at all, to be honest. Nothing against it. I don't know if it's going to do well or not. I just never mind it. And yeah, it looks like it's taking some sort of shit. It is down 86%. And this coin's never seen a bull market either. Interesting. Did I make my node? No, I didn't. You know what? I should probably make a video on that, and then maybe I'll get some price appreciation on it. Heck yeah, reverse pump. Sure. That's what you want to call it. AKA a dump. All right. Anyways, guys, you're all fantastic. I love you all. It is Friday. I got to leave you guys with this. I hope you guys have a safe, happy, and fantastic Friday. Don't spend all your money on Bitcoin, but spend most of it. Just kidding. Not financial advice. You guys have a good day. I will catch you tomorrow morning for the daily grind because I missed yesterday. Peace out. Have a happy and safe Friday again. Let's go raid Miss Randy Hipper. Peace, peace. See you guys tomorrow.